Hello students, today is the part 7 of unit number 1. In the previous part you studied limiting reagent in chemical reactions and you worked out some problems. You also saw percentage composition of elements in different compounds. Today let us use the percentage composition data for finding out the molecular formula of the compound and something called empirical formula of the compound. But before going to that, let us see what exactly are these formulae. First, let us see molecular formula. I'll write it as MF. So, molecular formula is the formula which indicates the exact number of different atoms present in one molecule of a compound. You take a compound. How much of the compound you will take? You take one molecule of it. That molecule will have different atoms. So, the number of those different atoms, the exact number of those different atoms is indicated by a particular formula, which is nothing but molecular formula. So, take a compound, say ethanol. I'll take the compound ethanol. One molecule of ethanol I'll take. So, this is the molecular formula of ethanol. It is indicating you the number of carbon atoms present, the number of hydrogen atoms present, and the number of oxygen atom present in one molecule of ethanol. So, ethanol na molecular formula idu. ಏನನ್ನ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ethanol ನ one molecule ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, 6 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ and 1 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಸೂಚಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. So this is the work of a molecular formula. That is, it indicates the exact number of different atoms present in one molecule of the compound. I can take other examples. Benzene, its molecular formula is C6H6. So, how many carbon atoms are present in it? They are 6. How many hydrogen atoms are present? 6. So, molecular formula indicates the exact number of atoms. Fine. Now, coming to the empirical formula. I will denote it as EF. This formula doesn't give us the exact number. Instead, it gives us the ratio of number of atoms. Molecular formula is giving us the exact number of atoms. No compromise there. But here in the empirical formula, you get information regarding the ratio of atoms, not regarding the exact number of atoms. Okay, so how do you define it? It is the simplest formula Why simplest? Because it's giving you the simplified ratio, not the exact number. So it is the simplest formula which gives the ratio of, ratio of atoms present in the compound. So now it doesn't matter whether you take one molecule of the compound or more molecules, because anyhow you are taking the ratio. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ one molecule of the compound ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. Exact number ಹೇಳುವಾಗ you have to specify it is one molecule of the compound. But when you are taking the ratio, you take one molecule or many molecules, the ratio will be the same. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ definition ಅಲ್ಲಿ one molecule ಹೇಳುವ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. You can just say in the compound. Okay, so empirical formula is the simplest formula which gives the ratio of number of atoms present in the compound. What are the examples? Empirical ethanol is C2H5OH, or I can write it as C2H6O. They are one and the same. This is nothing but the molecular formula of ethanol. For ethanol, empirical formula and molecular formula are one and the same. Molecular formula itself is the simplified version. Is it not? It cannot be simplified further. Look at the number of atoms. It is 2, 6 and 1. So this ratio cannot be simplified further. So for ethanol, empirical formula is nothing but the molecular formula itself. But for benzene, empirical formula is CH. What was the molecular formula? C6H6. Empirical formula CH. Because you can simplify this particular ratio. 6:6 is nothing but 1:1. If you take out the common factor 6, then you get it as CH. So now empirical formula of benzene is not equal to molecular formula of benzene, but it is a further simplified formula which is nothing but CH. Okay, so that was about the two formulae. Now let us solve problems on finding out these two formulae and which experimental values we need for it. We need percentage composition values or mass percent values. So one problem I have already written down on the board. Let me read out the problem. An organic compound has 24.27% carbon, 4.07% hydrogen and 71.65% chlorine. So mass percent or percentage composition is given to you. Along with that, one more value you need to solve such problems, and that is molar mass of the compound. It is 98.96 grams in this problem. So you need to calculate, you need to find out empirical and molecular formula for the compound. Now, how to do such problems? How to solve such problems? First of all, I'll write the elements of the organic compound. They are carbon, hydrogen and chlorine. So, I have listed out the elements present in the organic compound. After writing these elements, what I'll do is, I'll write their percentage masses given in the problem. Carbon 4.07, hydrogen, carbon is 24.27, hydrogen is 4.07 and chlorine is 71.65. These values are there in the problem. After percentage masses, you have to write atomic masses of the elements. Percentage masses problem nalli irtade, but atomic masses sometimes they may give in the problem here, or sometimes you may have to write down on your own. You know the atomic masses. Carbon, it is 12, for hydrogen it is 1, and for chlorine it is 35.5. Okay, so write the atomic masses. Next step is dividing the percentage mass by atomic mass. Divide the percentage mass written in the first row by the corresponding atomic masses. So what do you get? 24.27 divided by 12. If you do it using a simple calculator, you will get it as 2.02. Then 4.07 divided by 1, nothing but 4.07. 71.65 divided by 35.5. This also comes out to be around 2.02. So this is the third step. You have to find out new numbers by dividing percentage mass by atomic mass. Okay, so these are your new numbers. Now among these three new numbers, you pick up the least number. So fourth step is to write the least number among these three. So which is that least number? It is 2.02, is it not? This is the highest number. So least number is 2.02. It is written separately. And after that, you divide each and every number by the least number. So next step is dividing each and every number that you have got here by the least number. Okay. Actually, these numbers are nothing but moles. The numbers that you have got here are moles, because you are dividing the total mass, the percentage mass, by atomic mass. Total mass by atomic mass will give you moles. So what are these numbers? They are nothing but moles. You can even write here moles by least number, no problem. So I'll do the division. 2.02 by 2.02 is 1. 4.07 by 2.02, it will come out to be around 2.01. You can use the simple calculator that you have. And here in the third column, 2.02 by 2.02 will give you 1. Okay, so we have with us now one more set of numbers. Which are they? 1, 2.01 and 1. These two are integers, whereas this is not. You round it off to the nearest integer, which is 2. Okay, idana integer aagi round off ಮಾಡಿ. So if you do this, then half of your problem is solved. So now you will be able to write the empirical formula for the compound, and that formula is C1H2Cl1. So empirical formula is C1H2Cl1, or you can simply write it as CH2Cl. One need not be written. Okay, so let us recollect the steps once. Writing down the element symbols, then percentage masses, atomic masses, dividing the percentage mass by atomic mass, finding out the least number, dividing each and every number, which is nothing but moles, by the least number. If integer is not got, round it off to the integer and place these integers with their respective elements. You will get the empirical formula. Immediately you find out empirical mass for the compound. So how much it will be? 1 carbon means 12. 2 hydrogens will give you the mass 2. 1 chlorine corresponds to the mass of 35.5. So if you add, you will get 49.5 grams. Is it not? You get 49.5 grams as the empirical mass. Okay. So once you have empirical mass with you, molar mass is given in the problem. Divide molar mass in the problem by empirical mass, which is found out, and you will get an integer n. So molar mass is there in the problem, divided by the empirical mass which is there with you. So it will be 98.96 divided by 49.5. The value that you get, you round it off to the nearest integer. N is an integer, so it will be actually 2. After rounding off, you can find out the result using calculator and then round it off to the integer. You get it as 2. So what is the value of n here? It is 2. Once you get n, then you can find out the molecular formula. How to do it? Molecular formula is equal to empirical formula into n. Empirical formula is here, C1H2Cl1, value of n is 2. So if you do the multiplication, you get C2H2 2 2s are 4 and Cl2. So this is the molecular formula of the organic compound. Empirical formula is this and molecular formula is here. You can see that empirical formula is the simplified version of molecular formula. Okay. So from here let us recollect the steps. Once you write empirical formula, immediately find out empirical mass. Then divide molar mass by empirical mass, that will give you N. Multiply empirical formula with N, you will get molecular formula of the compound. Okay, so that was about one problem. Let us solve one more such problem. Now let us solve a second problem. So in this problem, an organic compound has in it 40.687% carbon, 5.085% hydrogen, and the rest of it is oxygen. That means oxygen percentage is not given to you directly. Indirectly, it has been given. So how much is oxygen? How do you find out the percentage of oxygen? It is not at all difficult. You add these two percentage masses, subtract them from 100, then you get oxygen percentage. So this is a small twist in the problem. Okay, then molecular mass of the compound is given, it is 180 U. In the previous problem, molar mass was given in terms of grams. Now, molecular mass is given in terms of U, but there is no problem in it because numerically you know that molecular mass and molar mass are one and the same. We just want the number here. Okay. Then what is asked here? The molecular formula is asked. And in order to get molecular formula, you know that you have to first find out empirical formula. Empirical formula kelade hodru kuda, first you have to find out empirical formula and then the molecular formula. Okay, let us start solving the problem. First, let me write the elements. They are carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So this is the first step. Then let me write the percentage masses. For carbon, it is given to be 40.687. You need not place the percentage symbol again. Then for hydrogen, it is 5.085. How much is oxygen? I'll take 40.687 and 5.085. I'll add the two values. I'll get the sum as 45.772. Now, after getting the sum, I'll subtract the sum from the total value, that is 100. 100 ನಿಂದ ಈ sum ಅನ್ನು minus ಮಾಡುವ. So the answer will be 54.228. So ಇದೆರಡನ್ನ add ಮಾಡಿ 100 ಇಂದ minus ಮಾಡಿ you will get the percentage mass of oxygen as 54.228. Okay, so this is an extra step in the problem. There are few more extra steps here in the problem. That is why this problem has been picked up. Okay, we'll see them later. Now, once you write the percentage masses, next step is to list the atomic masses. For carbon, 12, for hydrogen it is 1, and for oxygen it is 16. Sometimes these are given in the problem, sometimes they are not. Okay. So now divide the percentage mass by atomic mass. What do you actually get? You get the number of moles. Okay, so let me do the division. 40.687 by 12. You can do the division using calculator. You get it as 3.39. Then this is very obvious. 5.085 by 1 is nothing but 5.085. Then 54.228 divided by 16. Done using calculator, it also comes out to be around 3.39. Okay, so now we have the three new numbers with us, which are nothing but the moles of the element. What is the next step? Next step is finding out the least number among the three. And it is very clear that the least number is 3.39. This is the highest. These two are the least numbers. Okay. Now, divide the number or the moles, you can write here number or moles by the least number. Number annu least number inda divide ಮಾಡಿ. 3.39 by 3.39 will give you 1. 5.085 by 3.39, you can do using calculator, you will get 1.5. Then 3.39 by 3.39 is again 1. So, after division, we have got a set of new numbers, which are they? 1, 1.5 and 1 again. In the previous problem, I told you that in this step, if you don't end up with the integers, then make them integers by rounding off. But here, there is a situation wherein you cannot round off the number to an integer, because this particular number is exactly in the middle of two integers. 1 ಮತ್ತೆ 2 ವಿನ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಇದನ್ನ 1 ಅಂತ ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ, 2 ಅಂತ ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಕೂಡ ಸರಿ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. So in such situations, this is a special situation. So this is again a twist in the problem. So in such cases, what you have to do is, mere rounding off is not done. Instead, you have to see to it that this is converted into an integer by multiplication. 1.5 anna 1 inda multiply ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ you will get 1.5. That's not an integer. But if you multiply it by 2, 1 inda ನಂತರ ಬರೋದು 2. So 2 inda multiply ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ then this becomes 3. 3 is an integer. 1 inda multiply ಮಾಡಿ use ಇಲ್ಲ. But if you multiply by 2, then you will get what? 3. That is an integer. ಆದರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ 2 ಇಂದ multiply ಮಾಡುವುದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. You have to maintain a uniformity throughout. So what I'll do, I'll multiply this by 2, even this by 2, and this number by 2. Why 2? 2 is the least number that will give you integer when multiplying. Okay. So what do I get after multiplication? I'll write here the next step as multiplying by 2. Okay? Multiplying by 2. This is my next step. So I'll get then 2, 3 and 2. Okay? 2, 3 and 2. So now I can write the empirical formula easily. For carbon it is 2, for hydrogen it is 3, and for oxygen the subscript is 2. Okay. So you have with you empirical formula of the compound. Recollect the steps. Oxygen percentage mass not given. You have to find out by adding these two and subtracting from 100. Atomic masses are written. Percentage mass is divided by atomic mass. You get moles. Pick up the least number or least number of moles. Then divide the number, each and every number, by least number. You don't get an integer, you cannot round off the number to an integer. So in such special situations, conversion into integer has to be performed by multiplication, by selecting the appropriate number. Okay, starting from 1. 1 doesn't work out, 2 works out. In some cases 2 may not work out, you go to 3, multiply by 3. Okay, it continues. So then after multiplication you have with you integers. Write them with the respective elements, that will give you empirical formula. Immediately find out empirical mass 2 into 12, 3 into hydrogen atomic mass 1, 2 into oxygen atomic mass 60, 24 plus 3 plus 48, it is nothing but 'Is it correct? I am sorry, here this should be 16 into 2, 32. So the sum will be 59. Okay. So what is empirical mass? It is 59. Now find out the integer n. N is equal to molar mass divided by empirical mass. Molar mass is there in the problem. It is 118 grams, is it not? Molecular mass is 118 U, molar mass is 118 grams. Number is the same. I want just the number 118 divided by 59 is nothing but an integer 2. So I have with me the value of n, that is 2. Therefore, I can find out molecular formula which is equal to empirical formula times n, that's nothing but C2H3O2 into 2, which is equal to C4H6O4. So C4H6O4. This is the molecular molecular formula of the compound. Okay. So, this problem is slightly different in terms of two aspects. One, oxygen mass directly not given. Another, here you do not get a convenient number which can be rounded off easily, or converting into integer has to be done by multiplication. Okay. So, now you know how to find out empirical formula and molecular formula for a compound. Let us see some more examples for empirical formula and molecular formula by taking different compounds. I will start with the simplest alkane, that is methane. Molecular formula of methane is CH4. Its empirical formula is also the same because this itself is the simplest formula. I will go to the next alkane, that is ethane. Its molecular formula you know is 1 carbon more C2 and 2 hydrogens more H6, C2H6. What is its empirical formula? If I take out the common factor 2 from this, I will get CH3. So, now the two formulae are not same. Here they are same, but here they are not. So, C2H6 molecular formula, CH3 is the empirical formula. I will go to the first alkene, nothing but ethene. It has the molecular formula C2H4. Ethane ನಷ್ಟೇ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್, ಆದರೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ 2 ಕಡಿಮೆ. Okay, so what about the empirical formula? You can simplify it by dividing it by 2, then you get CH2. I will take the first alkyne, that is ethyne. You can also call it acetylene. Ethene can also be called ethylene. Ethyne can also be called acetylene. Carbon number is 2 here, just like ethane and ethene. Hydrogens are 2 less than ethene. Ethene kinta innu 2 hydrogen kadime. C2H2. So, empirical formula will be C1H1, is it not? If you divide it by 2, you can simplify it and the formula becomes CH. You already saw the formula for benzene. Molecular formula C6H6 divided by 6, empirical formula will be CH. I will take glucose. Molecular formula C6H12O6. Divide throughout by 6, you get CH2O. It is the empirical formula of glucose. Not only organic compounds, you can take inorganic compounds as well. Water, molecular formula H2O, empirical formula also H2O. No further simplification possible. Hydrogen peroxide, you saw it in law of multiple proportions. H2O2 is its molecular formula. You can simplify it, then you get empirical formula divided by 2, you get HO as the empirical formula. Okay, so these are some more examples for molecular formula and empirical formula. Now, what I want you people to notice is some compounds may have same empirical formula. Is it not? Ethyne and benzene, for example, they have same empirical formula CH. So that is possible. But their molecular formulae are different. They are totally different. They are not the same. So remember, empirical formula can be the same for different compounds, but molecular formulae will always vary. They will not be same. Empirical formula same irbodu ಕೆಲವು compound ಗಳಿಗೆ, but molecular formula same ಇರಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, so with this, let us conclude today's class, which was entirely on empirical formula and molecular formula and deriving them using percentage composition data obtained from experiments. Thank you.